Okay, guys. This is going to be Act Two, Scene Five. We're on page 329. And so remember, as I'm going through this, you can pause the video if you need to make sure you have all the notes in your pages. And remember, you are going to be given like some follow up questions after to see like did you kind of understand what was going on. Okay, so we last left off with Scene Four. We have Romeo has just given Nurse the details of the plan that has to be reported to Juliet. And in this scene, that's going to be the kind of focus for a while. And so we're starting Scene 5. We're in Capulet's orchard. Remember, this is Juliet's the garden, her family garden. So we're back in the garden. Notice a lot of the settings are kind of similar, repetitive. They just go to various places in the same area. And so we're starting our scene off with just Juliet. So Juliet's sitting there, and she says, "The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse." So remember, that's when the nurse left at around 9, and it was from scene 3 that we knew that she was supposed to go at 9. In half an hour, she promised to return, so she was supposed to come back about 9:30. Okay. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide the sun's beam. So think about perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. So right now she's kind of all over the place. She's having like a lot of doubts and she's very stressed. And she says, "Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sunbeam." So that's one of the big things about Juliet right here. She wants the info in a fast way. And she's just not getting that. And so she's connecting to that idea like, I wish, that the Love's Herald should be thoughts. Like it kind of be quicker and kind of go like almost like sunbeams and sunlight, kind of very, very, very quick. Okay, as we flip the page to 330. Driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinion doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. We have Cupid mentioned again. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill. We know it's around noon, even from our last scene. So remember, she was supposed to be there around 9, and it's about noon, so a few hours too late. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she is not come, and so that's her kind of worry. Like, what is going on? She's not coming. She's not back yet. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. So think about, guys. Think about that simile here. If she were to be youthful and young, think about the quickness she would come back. And so she's basically calling her old and slow. My words would bandy her to my sweet love and his to me. But old folks, many faint as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. So if you circle unwieldy, slow, heavy, pale, think about all the traits that she's showing about Nurse and the old people, and especially they're all negative. She's very frustrated right now about where is the nurse. I want my answer. I want my answer. So eventually the nurse and Peter do show up. "Oh God, she comes. Oh honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away." So note she already is starting to question immediately questions, like literally barely. Nurse can barely get through the door, and she's already asking, "Hey, what's the info? Did you actually see him?" And so we see that kind of dynamic. So let's watch that little portion before we actually get both Juliet and the nurse. She tries to send Peter away, and so they can have basically, remember, guys, the idea of a connection that these characters. If Romeo has the friar, the nurse is one of Juliet's biggest kind of supporters. So let's kind of watch up until now, and then we'll see about Juliet and nurse and what they talk about.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glides in the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore had the wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Now, good sweet nurse. Oh Lord, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a chance am I.
Would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I prithee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Okay, so we start seeing kind of the dynamic of what is going on with Juliet and the nurse. So Juliet, literally, now, good sweet nurse, oh lady, why look so sad? And so through that, we see that the nurse is kind of almost frowning, nurse frowning. And so Juliet is kind of picking up on that. Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. Like, if it's a sad news, still kind of give it to me in a kind of happy way. Or if good, thou shamest the music of sweet news. So basically, you're messing up my good news by playing it to me with such a sour face. And so we see Juliet clearly has a motivation. She wants to know what's going on, what's the news, and it's almost like tunnel vision. And the nurse says, I'm a-weary, give me leave a while. So basically, give me a moment. And because her bones ache, remember, she was only supposed to be gone 30 minutes, but remember, she walked about 3 hours looking for Romeo and trying to get the information. So she's just tired. She said, give me a moment. I would thou hast my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak, good nurse, speak. And so we see that, think about her repetition. She repeats over and over again. So she's very determined to get the information, and she keeps pushing and pushing. Hey, Sue, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath? And so basically, nurse is like, look, she's not saying I'm not going to tell you the information. She's like, I just need a moment. Then Juliet responds, how art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art of breath? I mean, she's basically being very condescending. Like, well, actually, all the complaints about you not being able to breathe, you could have told me information already. So she's kind of being very kind of saucy. We use that word with Tybalt. This is not as severe, but yeah, she's kind of being sassy a little bit. She's being saucy. She's coming back at her. The excuse that just making this delay is longer than the tale that does excuse. So, is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. So she kind of makes it simple. Now remember also, the nurse is not very good communicator, and so you can actually put that on the side. The idea of communication is a big kind of focus here. Even her good day, the nurse doesn't really talk very eloquently or structurally sound, and so when she's tired as well, that's just going to add more and more tension. In fact, write that on the side. This big scene is all about tension. Okay, as they kind of build and build and build. So Juliet still doesn't have the information that she wants. She says, say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad? So, basically, it's like yes or no, good or bad. Like, simple answers. She tries to kind of, go simple at first. Okay? So, one word answer, sorry. Well, you have made a simple choice. You not know how to choose a man, because remember, we know she has a preference for Paris, so she kind of judges him a little bit, shows her a little opinion. Romeo, no, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body. So like he looks all great, and though they not be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy. Remember, she's remembering the disrespect that he showed her. But I warrant him as a gentle as a lamb, because remember, he eventually did kind of win her over. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you dined at home? So remember, she's supposed to give the plan. And so we see the nurse. She starts telling her all this information, and then she gets distracted. Oh wait, what about dinner? And so she gets distracted. Which then, what do you think is going to happen with Juliet? She's going to get more and more frustrated. No, no, no. But all this I do know before. What say you of our marriage? What of that? And so she keeps on kind of repeating the questions. Okay, she's not letting the nurse kind of off on what the information she wants. Okay. Then the nurse at the top. So we're on top of 331. Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I? It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. Remember, she basically is tired and cranky. My back, or the side of my back, beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jouncing up and down. So she's like, darn you for sending me out to just go all around. Remember, she was only supposed to go 30 minutes and come back, but then ends up 3 hours later just walking. And remember, it's middle of the summer, around like 11 o'clock, hottest part of the day, noon, and so she's just tired. Faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. So think about it. Now we start seeing Juliet. She was being kind of very direct, and now she's starting to apologize. But sweet, sweet, sweet. Think about the repetition. Nurse, tell me what says my love. So now she kind of softening up her approach. She tried the, very saucy, very kind of direct and kind of, repetitive, and now she's trying to be nice. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and handsome, and a warm, and virtuous. And then notice this dash. Where is your mother? And so once again, think about the idea of distracted. And so that is basically delaying the answers and the information. Answer of plan. And so that's building and building and building. So literally this scene is just basically tension, building. Because the plan is very simple. It's very, very clear to communicate. It's just nurse kind of tired, distracted, and just overwhelmed. This pushes it out. Where's my mother? Why, she's within. Where she shall be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says like a gentleman. Where's your mother? So think about right now, she kind of actually repeats and kind of mocks the nurse. It's like, oh, how oddly thou repliest. Like, that's a strange kind of answer, especially when Juliet is very like tunnel vision, asking very specific questions. Well, the nurse, oh gods, lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? How it's forward to your message yourself. So basically, the idea you're not grateful. Like, do it yourself in the future. And so she's basically like, you're being very disrespectful. And so we've seen in this play already different characters be disrespectful and kind of very annoyed with people. Here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo? Have you got leave to go to shrift today? Remember, we've seen the idea of shrift and the idea of a confession. And we know from the last scene, that's a big part of the plan. Can you go to a confession? Yes, I can. She says yes. Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. So basically, there's going to be Romeo. Romeo will be there. Sorry about that. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. Think about the idea of blushing, like, oh, red in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet strait at any news. Hie you to church, I must another way, to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. And so remember, she has to basically go get rope ladder. Okay. And he must climb the bird's nest soon when it is dark. So remember, this whole Act 2 is about access. And so that's going to be this idea of how was Romeo going to give access to Juliet? Well, we already say shrift to get her there. They're going to get married. And then later that night, the rope ladder. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go out to dinner, hie you to the cell. So she's going to go to eat and then go to Friar Lawrence's. Hi to high fortune, honest nurse farewell. So notice she describes her as honest. So everything now is all good. She, she was like tunnel vision, wanting that answer, wanting that information. Okay, so let's watch the rest of that scene.
Jesu, what haste! Can I not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that, say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied, is it good or bad?
Well, you've made a simple choice. You don't know how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's. And for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches. What a head am I. It beats as you would fall in 20 pieces. Oh, my back. T'other side. Oh, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me around to catch my death with jauncing up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse. Tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous and a kind and a handsome, and I'll warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot, Mary? Come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder, by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. Oh, I am the drudge, and toil in your delight. But you shall bear the burden soon, at night. Go, I'll to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune. Honestness, farewell.
Okay. So that's the end of scene 5. And then the next class period, you're going to start scene 6, which is the big, when they actually go to Friar Lawrence's and meet up together. And so just make sure you have all the notes and that you're going through and also answering the follow-up questions on course.